There's just been something itching in the back of my mind lately, and it's just become a lot more prominent in my life with this current season I'm going through. Right now, I've been on this path of gaining weight, and like my whole life, gaining weight was so freaking difficult. Like, I don't know. There's so many reasons. You hear a bunch of things like, oh, fast metabolism, oh, like eating disorder and shit like that. And I'm not trying to like say I have no idea like what it is. You know what I mean? I just know that like since growing up, I've just always struggled with eating a lot. And now I'm kind of just entering this journey where I am learning to eat more, embrace my body more, as well as grow in the ways that I'm looking for, and I've realized that through this journey, I have stumbled upon something that I like to call the guilt loop. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. Like, I don't know if this is like a normal phrase to say, but it's pretty much this cycle where you know what you need to do, but you don't do it. And then as a result, you feel bad about it. You may even punish yourself for it in different ways. Like for me, let's say I don't do something that like is contributing towards my goal and I feel guilty about that. And as a result of me feeling guilty about it, you would think like, oh, like, let me just go and do that thing and no longer feel guilty. But because I feel so upset with myself about it, it then puts me in a mood to not want to do it at all, which makes me feel even worse. And it kind of just creates this cycle where it's like, I'm just not doing what I need to do because I feel bad about not doing what I need to do. You see what I'm getting at right now? Like, the guilt loop is such an interesting concept. And it's like one of those things where I feel like everyone kind of goes through this, like in different variations of their life. And the funny thing is about it, is that it's easy to break out of. It's so easy to just like break out of the guilt loop. I think that's where many of us struggle with, is the fact that it is so easy. The concept of like, oh, I should just go and do that thing, you know? It feels like it should be easy, and it is. It is. And I think that's the part where it's like, it frustrates most of us, where it's, why can't I do this simple thing? And it just makes you feel disappointed in yourself. Those emotions can drain your motivation and your energy. Just because you feel bad, you avoid that thing even more. And it's kind of interesting when you're going through it, because for me, all it does, for any of us, I feel like all it would do is just bring us, you know, pain. I think also too, at least for me, in my struggles and where the guilt loop has become prominent in my life, is that it isn't really about me not gaining weight or me not doing the things that I need to do in order to reach closer to my goals. It's the fear of staying where I am. It's not reaching my potential. It's letting myself down. I think that's really the actual true fear here. And I think I've kind of just learned to let that go, or at least I'm learning to let that go. Meaning, like, it's a balance between acknowledging what I need to do, how I can do it better, but also giving myself the grace to fail, so I'm able to not do it again. Or even if I do, not punishing myself to the point where I feel like there's no point in doing this. Like, I've already failed. I've already dug a hole too deep to get out of. Like, that's just never true. Time will always tell the story. And I feel like as long as we're still alive, like, we'll always have time to do those things. You know what I mean? At least that's how I feel about it. And, maybe I'll feel differently when I'm older. Like, maybe like when I reach a certain age, I feel differently. But honestly, I just don't think so. I feel like no matter what the situation is, as long as I have time, I'm able to do something about it. And I think that's just a more reassuring way of thinking about it for me, because it doesn't make me feel like I have to punish myself and for not doing what I need to do. Instead, it just kind of makes me feel like I hold grace and space for myself to fail, but I have the awareness that I must succeed. It's a delicate dance, I feel like, between holding yourself accountable and not letting things slip by you. Because everything around me has been changing as a result of me just coming into alignment with what I truly believe I'm supposed to be doing with my life, you know? So many things have changed just because I've just decided to intentionally make that shift. You know, we're all one and the same. It's only when you let down that veil where you're able to kind of see that beyond the smoky mirrors, like we are literally a reflection of each other. And it's something that I feel like it's easy to forget because we look different, we talk different, we don't always think the same or are able to see eye to eye on most situations. So it's pretty easy to just kind of be like, well, yeah, this person's different. And I feel like we're all unique. No two blades of grass are exactly identical in every detail. And it seems like the universe is just all one living organism that has created like infinite life forms within it. You know, similar to like how our body has so many cells and like those cells have brains and all these moving parts. Like I'm sure if we were to like put a cell under a microscope, like some crazy microscope or whatever, like it would look like an entire planet, you know, maybe even like a galaxy, who knows? Like it would look insane. If things like down to the cell, down to the atom are that beautiful or that detailed, then it's just like putting it on a larger scale. It wouldn't be crazy to assume that the universe is just one big ass organism, right? How I've gotten out of the guilt loop, or when I catch myself, you know, coming within it, and how I stay present and stay hopeful and stay fulfilled and stay focused within those times. It's just about knowing that it's never over until it's over. And it's never that deep. Even if it is, like even if it's like critical condition, I mean, you have to give yourself that grace, because punishing yourself is the key to the guilt loop. That is the key that's unlocking the infinite void of no escape. Like it's the fact that you feel so bad about it that it no longer just becomes awareness of the problem, but it becomes the problem at hand. It's the reason why you're unable to move forward. And I feel like, again, it just kind of comes to this balance of holding yourself accountable and not letting things slip by. A question that I've always loved to ask myself, and I think I'm gonna make a separate video about this as well, is identity something that we're born with, or is it something that develops over time? So what I've discovered when it comes to escaping the guilt loop is that there's 3 paths you can take. You could A, lower your standards for success or whatever it is. You could B, stop keeping score every single day. Or you could C, and replace self-judgment with curiosity. And honestly, I think that C is like, for me, has been the best way of going about it, because I love calculating data and I will not be lowering my standards for shit. I'm gonna just try and reach for the fucking stars. And if I don't make it, at least I can lay my heads on the clouds. When you convert self-judgment for curiosity, it brings space to ask more questions like, what got in the way? Were you tired? Were you busy? Stressed? Did you run out of food? I mean, did you wake up late? Like, you know, like there's so many things that I'm not, and they're not even excuses. Some people may see it that way, but if anything, I feel like it should just be taking care of yourself should be your utmost priority before chasing any goal or dream. I feel like in order for you to truly perform the way that you should be, in order for you to manifest new things to come into your surroundings, for your life and the world around you to change while you're doing it, is by taking care of yourself. And I think just, you know, never really looking at it as finality and just looking at it as just data. Take a deep breath. learn from it, adjust, and take the next step. I'll see you guys later. We have many more lessons to learn, many more adventures to go on. I wonder what we'll learn next. Peace.